if you want a raise or maybe some more responsibilities at work, hey, just post a couple of cryptic Instagram messages. Seems to work for Tennessee football. I'm Sam Rothman filling in for Mark Packer. Tonight, of course, we have Jason Swain, and it's basketball season. So Tony Jones is back with us. Guys, we've all seen it on Instagram, multiple players posting. This emoji has become very popular. Jason, I see your face over there. Well, what is going on with Tennessee football, and do we need to take these players' phones away from them?
No, you don't take them away. I mean, this is what they do to negotiate. And, you know, if you're Tennessee, you have to figure out if these guys are worth it or not, if you want to pay them more, if you want to let them go. This happened last year with the defensive back room. And you saw what happened there. Tennessee was able to upgrade, but several offensive players. And, you know, we'll see what happens. Tennessee needs to make sure they keep the good talent here and then decide on some of the other guys that they want to let them walk.
Let's take a look now at those guys who have left so far in the transfer portal. There's a lot of names. We're not going to go through all the lists, but as it sticks out, Squirrel White, you have Chaz Nimrod, Caleb Webb, just a bunch of wide receivers, and maybe Mike Matthews also might be on his way out too. We're not really sure about that situation yet, but Jason, as a wide receiver, just what you might be down to 2 scholarship players in the wide receiver room. Should we be worried?
Well, also you need to replace the whole room. I thought the room was not good this year, honestly. Last year the defensive back room was replaced, and they played better this year. So, you know, a lot on Josh Heupel, Kelsey Pope. They got to figure that room out. The last 2 years, that room has been subpar. And it's really unacceptable after a Blitnikoff Award winner and Jalen Hyatt. So I look at all the names in the portal. I'm not necessarily sad because I don't see a ton of production from that group. So, again, it's Tennessee's responsibility to make sure that they have young players, to make sure that they're developed, they're ready to go, and they got to get the right guy out of the portal. The last 2 times they've gotten a receiver out of the portal, the first year they haven't gotten started. They haven't necessarily contributed in a big way. You know, Dante Thornton bounced back this year and had a big year, but that first year we haven't seen that production. So that's what Tennessee's coaching staff needs to figure out.
Tony, obviously, Jason, a little biased with the wide receiver room. What do you think of the transfer portal so far?
Well, the grass is not always greener on the other side. That's what these young men need to understand. It's a high visibility sport. And you expect it to produce. Once you come into the University of Tennessee, you're expected to produce. And my thing is, I think a lot of these players got a lot of people in their ear, a lot of significant others. They got them in their ear, and they telling them, this is what you should be doing, this is what this guy's doing. And in some instances, it's just not the correct advice that they're getting.
There's a lot of money on the table.
Yeah.
I mean, let's keep it real here. And if we were in that position, and we had people coming at us telling us they can give us a lot of money, more money, 2 or 3 times more than I'm currently making, it's going to be hard for us not to listen.
Yes.
And so that's kind of what's going on. You do have people in these players' ears that want their cut too, and they're going to get their cut. So it's a mess. And the way you navigate the whole situation is you better have a coaching staff in place. Basketball has it. You got Rick Barnes, who's credible. Like, those guys, they come there to be developed because they know they're going to get better. They're going to get paid too, but they know they're going to get better and they're going to win. Nick Saban kind of had that at the beginning of NIL, but it got crazy and he walked away. You can handle it if you have the right coach staff in place. Basketball has it certainly right now.
So now, I'll pose the question to both of you guys. You talk about a lot of money on the table. Is it time? I mean, it's being treated like professional football right now. Is it time to maybe put in contracts or to figure out this transfer portal situation, have a guy sign and make it harder for them to leave?
Well, in my estimation, it's straight free agency right now. And people, you know, have agents. A lot of these athletes have agents, and I'm not begrudging them of that fact. You know, college coaches have been doing it for years. You know, they've been looking at the next job while they still in place at one job. So I'm not begrudging the players of this thing, but you know what? I don't know if it's sustainable, Jason. Let's hope we get some type of mechanism in place that this can calm down a little bit.
Well, it's the only sport that allows you to engage in free agency during the season. I mean, it's insane. In the NFL professional ranks, you actually get paid for production and being good. You get an increase after you have a good season.
Yeah.
College football, if you just tweet out an emoji scaring people that you're going to leave. It doesn't matter if you didn't produce any the last year or not. The fear of losing a player sometimes gets that player a pay bump. That's just the reality of the situation right now.
And from a coach's perspective, you have to have your coaching staff looking out and trying to plan for the future. Retention is important right now, Jason. You're trying to retain your players, but yet and still, your coaching staff needs to be out there looking to see who I can get to bring in off the transfer portal.
Going off of that, fans are worried. They see players leaving. You talk about retention. Not really anyone coming in right now. Obviously, there still are playoff games and players can still add in. Should we be worried about that right now, or do you think we'll start to see some moves over the next couple of weeks of players coming in?
I mean, I would be concerned. I mean, if I'm a Tennessee fan, just looking at the entire picture, and I mean, you don't have to be that smart to know there's more leaving than coming in right now. You have one player that's committed to Tennessee, and that's the interior lineman from Arizona and Wendell Moe. So I don't blame fans for being concerned. I would encourage them to kind of wait and see. Let's see how Hypo adapts. Let's see what kind of moves this administration is going to make to bring in more talent.
We talked a lot about the wide receiver room, also losing a player hard to replace, and Dylan Sampson, not to the portal, but to the NFL draft. Cameron Seldon is gone, so now you have Deshaun Bishop. You have Peyton Lewis, who looked promising as a freshman. Do you think they can take that next step and fill that void of Dylan Sampson?
Individually, can one of those guys do that? Absolutely not. I mean, he is special.
Yeah.
He broke a record that was in place for almost 100 years. So not one of those guys will be able to take the place of Dylan Sampson, but collectively you hope that they can bring that level of production. I do think it would be nice if Tennessee either get someone from the portal or they have a young player that's coming in that's ready to play, step in and make plays the same way Dylan Sampson did when he was a freshman.
Well, Jason has forgot more about football than I know, but from a fan's perspective, this guy's special.
It was fun to watch this year, for sure.
No question. And what he done this year was unprecedented, and I think he's going to have a bright future in the NFL.
Sure.
One more guy I want to talk about leaving and transferring is Holden Stays in that tight end room, because you look at it, you see, oh, it's a big loss. But then you also think, Diego Pavia, with that court ruling, Miles Kitselman can come back now because he did spend that year at JUCO. Do you think he comes back?
I mean, I think it will be very invitations for him to come back. I think it's a great opportunity for him to come back. Him and Ethan Davis can control that room. I look at Holden Stays' numbers. I don't blame him for leaving. I mean, that tight end room was deep, and it really was difficult for any one of those guys to get in a rhythm other than Miles Kitselman. He was Tennessee's best tight end this season, but I'm sure Miles Kitselman will want a bump based on his level of production this year. We'll see what happens.
All right, well, we'll be right back here on the Food City Locker Room Show presented by Garza Law. We talk a lot more basketball coming up. We have Jordan Gainey and Zakai Ziegler in studio. We'll be right back.
Zakai Ziegler's appearance on The Locker Room is brought to you by Lakewood Capital Group.
Attention shoppers, don't forget to ask our certified butchers for great recipe tips.
This is an authentic butcher shop,
where meat is hand-cut in-store, beef is ground fresh daily, and expert advice from a certified butcher
is always free of charge.
Free advice? That's what I call value. The quality I crave, the value I count on.
Nobody does food like Food City.
At Glass Doctor, our trained specialists are experts at fixing foggy and cracked glass.
Looks great.
You're all set.
What we can't fix is your view.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
I was coming home and a lady hit me head on. It totaled my car. It fractured my right heel and it bruised me up really badly. The Garza law firm, they were very compassionate, but yet they were very detailed. They didn't let me down. They never stopped fighting. It helped me regain confidence in law firms. I would definitely recommend the Garza law firm.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
was the star around here until Glass Doctor installed this perfect shower enclosure. Now they look at me like, well, there you go.
Call the Glass Doctor, we'll fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
The Locker Room is brought to you by Food City, NPG Brain and Concussion, Knoxville Smiles, Glass Doctor, and Garza Law.
Welcome back. We're going to switch gears a little bit. The good thing, football season in the books. And we have a #1 basketball team here on Rocky Top. I don't know if you knew about that, but I want to talk about one thing first because we have a lot of Tennessee football portal news, but there was some news last week with Tennessee basketball with Cam Carr's sudden departure from the program. Guys, when you heard this news, were you surprised, and what do you make of it?
I was surprised, 100%. I mean, here's a guy that this year was supposed to be his breakout year, his coming out party. Unfortunately, he got hurt early. His athleticism is unquestioned. He has a nice stroke. I thought he was going to be ready to play and come back after the injury. But unfortunately, he left the team, which I'm not a fan of doing in the middle of the season, period. But to be honest, the team is loaded with talent. And there's opportunities for a guy like, Darling Stone Dubar to make some plays and be in there. More opportunities for Gainey, shoot that three ball and get more of the green light. I mean, it just makes opportunities open for other guys.
And Bishop also.
Yeah, for sure.
Bishop came in and played really strong minutes against Illinois.
He did.
And obviously Jordan did his thing because Chaz and ZZ was in extreme foul trouble. But no, hey, next man up.
Coach Barnes talked about Bishop should be coming back hopefully after this Christmas break, so that'll be a good thing to see. And after this Christmas break, we have one more, let's say, tune-up game, can we call it that, before the SEC Gauntlet. Guys, do you think this team has been tested enough so far in non-conference play?
I think they've been tested for sure. I mean, some quality wins. We can call it a tune-up game. The players can't call it a tune-up game publicly because they need to treat every game like it is going up against Kentucky or going up against Auburn or going up against a blue blood program. So we'll see if this team is ready. They look ready for sure, but the SEC is going to be a grinder this year for sure because of the talent.
Well, they handled Louisville. They handled Syracuse. They handled Miami. All ACC teams, they may not have stellar records, but they still have really good athletes. And obviously to beat Baylor and Illinois was second to none.
One thing that stands out to me so far is how this team brings the intensity, the defense, the attention to detail on the road. It's easy to have all those things at home when the crowd's behind you, but being able to take it on the road speaks to the level of maturity, experience, and mentality that we have. This team certainly plays like their head coach's mentality in Rick Barnes.
And we have Zakai Ziegler with us tonight. We're going to bring him in now. Zakai, we're talking about the SEC schedule. You guys are obviously looking forward to it. What does these next few months look like for you? It just seems like a gauntlet of a schedule where any team can really win any night.
Yeah, well, we know SEC, we're the best conference in the country. I think a couple weeks ago we had 5 teams in the top 10. So, when we see things like that, we get super excited. Like, over here, we duck no smoke. Like, we want to play the best teams every single night. So, seeing that SEC this year is this good of a conference, it just gets us more and more excited.
ZZ, obviously you're the straw that stirs the drink. And I'm just telling you, how do you negotiate whether you're looking for your offense or getting other people involved during the game, during the flow of the game? Because as a point guard, that's something that you really need to negotiate. What's your mindset on that?
Yeah, I mean, well, if I'm getting my guys open or if they're hitting shots, it's just going to open everything up for me. So when I first look to facilitate and get everybody into the game and see how guys is feeling first before I look to get everything for myself.
Do you have a checklist of guys that you want to throw a oop to? It seems like you've thrown a oop to everybody, probably except for Gainey, who's sitting right next to you, man.
Nah. I threw a oop to him at A&M last year.
I'm talking about this year.
We didn't get the opportunity yet, but we get a lot of every game day. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Pre-game, that's like one of our pre-game rituals. Me and him throw a lob off the backboard. So I get one every game for him.
Are we going to see a oop to Gainey in the game soon? Because you've thrown it to everyone else.
You never know.
That's
you never know.
All right, we'll have to see. We have Jordan Gainey here too, so lucky us. We'll hear from him right after this. Jason will interview him in the player's perspective. We'll be right back.
The Locker Room is brought to you by Food City, Exterior Home Solutions, D1 Training, Lakewood Capital Group, Ted Russell Ford, and Garza Law.
Attention shoppers, don't forget to ask our certified butchers for great recipe tips.
This is an authentic butcher shop.
Where meat is hand-cut in-store, beef is ground fresh daily, and expert advice from a certified butcher
Is always free of charge.
Free advice? That's what I call value. The quality I crave, the value I count on.
Nobody does food like Food City.
I see Marco's role in the community as somebody that people can look up to.
Marcos Garza is very thoughtful. He pays attention to the needs of the people in the community.
He's somebody that's very unselfish, somebody that's going to always be there.
Marcos Garza will work as hard as he can to get the best results for you.
In the future, no matter where I'm playing, no matter what the team I'm playing for, I'll always be on Garza's team.
The Garza Law Firm is Mama ZZ approved.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Hey, Sterling, man, come on, we got a roof to replace.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Hey, Sterling, you ready to go to the top? Man, I can't believe you guys been doing this for 25 years. Oh, baby.
Now, this is what I call a rooftop party.
We have 25 years experience in roofing and exterior renovations, and we're backed by the best.
Are you ready to get your rooftop party started? Give us a call, 865-524-5888.
Knoxville Smiles depend on us to make you smile better. Knoxville Smiles, are you happy with your smile today? Knoxville Smiles, we're all about smiles.
Hey Lance, what makes you smile?
Pancake blocks.
What's up, guys? It's Devin Driscoll, owner of D1 Sports Training. We know in 2024, convenience is king, so we have locations not just in Hardin Valley, but now one in Maryville, in Farragut, and in Morristown, with more soon to come. So keep an eye out. We want to bring D1 Sports Training to everyone in East Tennessee.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jody Griffin. I'm a dentist here in Knoxville, Tennessee. In 22, I had a wakeboard tower hit me on the head and give me a concussion. In my office, I show x-rays to my patients so they can see their teeth. I needed somebody to do the same thing for my brain, so I went to MPG. They did an EEG of my brain, and they were able to show me the activity of my brain and give me a diagnosis and a treatment plan. So I choose MPG because brains is what they do, and that's all they do.
Time now for the Food City Player's Perspective. A look inside the locker room with the Vols.
Got Jordan Gainey here during our locker room players perspective, brought to you by Food City. The big difference in your game from last year to this year, you took over the Illinois game when Zakai Ziegler was out due to foul trouble. What do you think has been the single thing that you can point to of the difference between your game offensively last year to this year?
Just not relaxing and just being more calm and just ready for whatever comes my way. Last year I felt like I was a little too relaxed at sometimes and just not really expected what's coming my way. And just being able to know what I'm looking at or like what's coming in my certain direction has helped my game to slow down and just play at my pace and not really get sped up throughout the whole entire game has been able to help me. And obviously my teammates, they pour into me each and every day and just keep me with confidence.
Is that something that you can practice, or is that something that just kind of comes with experience?
It definitely comes from practice, and experience plays a big role in it. But whenever you compete with high-level guys every single day in practice and each guy wants to get better, you're going to end up getting better and learning what you need to do when game time comes.
Walk us through kind of your mentality in the Illinois games. Zakai goes in foul trouble. He sits on the bench. You obviously take over. Was there a conversation from the coach or your teammates telling you, hey, man, it's your turn, or did you just kind of know what to do?
Really, my teammates came through, and Chaz, he was like, you got to be aggressive. Yeah. And I'm like, I got you. Z's constantly talking, he's like, go and get it. So, you know, I just didn't really try to force anything throughout the game, just let it naturally come to me. But just being able to hear my guys tell me like that they have faith in me and that they know what time it is something special that we have in our locker room.
It seems like the new players, the transfers, they've adjusted perfectly, understanding what the expectations are of this basketball program. Why do you think they've been able to adjust so well?
Really, I started as soon as they stepped foot on campus back in May. Me, Z, and Shaq, we were really like vocal leaders throughout the whole entire summer, just making sure everyone knew the purpose of being here. It wasn't just to go out here and have fun and look good. Like, we're going out here to compete every single day and win championships and just get better each day, and that it's not going to be easy. We knew it wasn't going to be easy as soon as conference play, as soon as our first day on campus. We just knew it was going to be a gauntlet, and practice is going to be hard. So making sure every single guy got better in practice every single day was our key goal.
It seems like defensively you've improved and took your game to another level too. How do you think Meshack and Zakai Ziegler helped you with that?
Well, I have to guard Z every single day, so just being able to stay in front of one of the quickest guards in the country is going to help me on the long run regardless. But my dad and Coach Barnes are constantly on me about just containing my man and just keeping him in front of me, making everything just hard for my offensive opponent, and live with tough shots, because there's good players out there that do hit tough shots, and as long as you contest and make it a tough shot for them, you've done your job.
Do you feel like you've had to prove yourself, have a chip on your shoulder that's maybe a little different because your dad is on the staff when you came in?
Definitely.
Yeah.
You definitely have to, because people can't look at you as like coach's kid.
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to have a chip on my shoulder regardless of wherever I was at my last school or here. Just always having that chip on your shoulder is just something you have to have, so you can have that edge on you and just be ready to prepare for like a dog mentality that you have to have.
When's the last time your brother, who is a high school player here in town, your dad obviously played college basketball at a high level, then you currently playing, when's the last time you three played a game of horse? And how did it go? Who won?
It's been a long time. Probably like when I was in 8th grade, whenever we were all just together chilling at the gym. But you know who won. It was definitely me.
All right. SEC plays around the corner. Got some new players on the basketball team. What is your message to them to let them know what to be prepared for?
Just one game at a time. Don't look ahead. Don't look behind. You know, we have to focus on the moment, and we have to stay in this together. It's just us throughout the whole entire season, throughout the rest of the season, and we're the ones that's going to keep pushing each other to get to our end goals and focus on just the team and not individual aspects.
What's the conversation like when you have a player leave for the portal? You've been here. You had 2, 3 last year. Then you had one during the season a couple days ago. What's the conversation inside the locker room with you guys when that goes on?
Focus on the now.
Yeah.
We can't really focus on all the outside noise about what just happened, and it's hard not to because it happened so quick and we were just so unexpected, but we just had to focus on what we have in our locker room and just being able to stay tight-knit and focus is going to help us.
How do you handle outside noise? I mean, you guys are undefeated this year, number 1 in the country. I know you guys expect to win every basketball game, but there's going to be adversity that hits at some point. How are you prepared to handle that outside noise when the adversity hits?
You just have to find a way to block it out because it's always on social media. Like, not many people are going to come up to you and chirp at you out to your face. Like, it's always on social media. So finding a way to spend time of your day, put the phone down, and just go in the gym and clear your mind off everything, because that always helps me, just going to the gym and just shooting around, whatever it is. Just getting my mind off of everything on the outside is just always something that's good for me.
For sure. Jordan Gainey has been on the heater so far this year. T. Jones, I know you would love to have a player like this in your team.
No question about it. I'm so proud of his development over the last 2 years, where I've seen this young man just grow, especially from the ball handling perspective. We've known he's got a strap that he can knock the shots down, but he's been able to handle the basketball. If Z gets in foul trouble, he's been able, like he did against Illinois, to come in and right the ship. And I think he's got a professional future in front of him.
Going back to what Jason, you were talking about with Jordan, you know, the transfer portal news. Jordan, you came in last year. Dalton came in last year, obviously, and then this year you have Jazz come in, you have Igor come in, you have Darlinstone come in. Seems like you guys don't miss a beat. How are you guys able to take in these new players and just keep the ball rolling?
It starts in summer. It's a grind ever since we stepped foot on campus, and the guys coming in, we can tell them that, but they just don't know.
Yeah.
So whenever adversity hits in practice, we always have to uplift them and keep them positive, just because, you know, that's how the games are going to be. The game isn't going to be all sunshine throughout the whole thing. It's going to be ups and downs. So just being able to prepare those guys from practice to the real game is just always helping them.
All right, we're going to wrap up the show and talk about that SEC gauntlet. We have mentioned it should be a fun couple of months here in Tennessee. We'll talk about it after the break.
Hi, I'm Laura Ash, your West Knoxville State Farm agent. I've been here in the Renaissance for 17 years, and I'd love to help your young football players or anyone with their car insurance, home insurance, and life insurance. Give me a call at Laura Ash State Farm.
I see Marco's role in the community as somebody that people can look up to.
Marcos Garza is very thoughtful. He pays attention to the needs of the people in the community.
He's somebody that's very unselfish, somebody that's going to always be there.
Marcos Garza will work as hard as he can to get the best results for you.
In the future, no matter where I'm playing, no matter what the team I'm playing for, I'll always be on Garza's team.
The Garza Law Firm is Mama Zizi approved.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Hi, I'm David Ball, National Sales Manager here at Legend Fitness. Legend Fitness has been built on longevity and quality. Our racks are fully welded and has the least amount of bolts in the industry, made to stand up to the test of time. Because at Legend Fitness, we deliver quality and we want our customers to be Legend strong.
Hey, Tim Hoskins here from Covenant Sports Medicine. I'm the corporate manager of sports medicine, and I want to speak a little bit to our community partners and relationships that we have. We partner with FC Alliance Soccer, LeConte Center at Pigeon Forge, Johnson University, numerous high schools in and around the area, AAU basketball, Morristown Landing, travel hockey, volleyball, lacrosse, you name it, we're probably involved. What a lot of people don't know about Covenant Health is we're a nonprofit, community-based healthcare delivery system. We provide services in your community. If you ever need help with some event medicine or sporting event, scan the QR code at the bottom. Covenant Health, our mission is to improve lives through better health.
Community banking is about location and much more. It's about family. We reside in your community. We are a part of your community. At Commercial Bank, our commitment extends beyond the walls of our branches. It's displayed each day in the opportunities we provide, the money we give back, and the time we commit, all to help improve the lives of the people, families, and businesses that make our communities great. Commercial Bank, life made better.
All right, we don't have much time, but a big one coming up next week, opening up SEC play against Arkansas. Some familiar faces, Jonas Adu back. You know, the coach on the other side. He's a little familiar with Tennessee basketball too, guys. What do you think about this one?
Well, Cal's coming in here. Last time Cal came in here against Kentucky last year, Kentucky beat Tennessee, so that's going to be on Coach Barnes and the players' mind. But Cal coming in here, and he's going to try and get off to a 1-0 start in the league.
I'm sure it's going to be an emotional game playing against Jonas, their old teammate, but they just got to shake all that off and go handle business.
And then after that, Florida on the road. And it just keeps getting harder and harder.
Yep.
Florida's 12-0, like Tennessee 12-0. And it's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough for sure. And we'll have a recap of it all next week on the Locker Room Show presented by Garza Law. We'll see you guys then.